Hello, Legacy students. Marsh here. So today we're going to be talking about graphing and writing equations of a translated parabola in Focus-Directrix form. What you want to have on you, conics foldable. You might also want your wipe-off graph. That might help when we do our writing portion. And then also some time of writing utensil as well. So last time we talked about a parabola in Focus-Directrix forms that were at the origin. Now we're going to move them to different spots. Okay, the H and the K, they're showing up again. That's what we're going to be working with. Notice though that the Y has a K value right here and the H. So we do have to be careful with our H and our K. We do need to make sure that the X is going to show up first in our ordered pair. Standard form still looks like this, right? Still that p-value is the number of positive or negative units from the vertex to the focus or the vertex to the directrix. P positive opens up, opens down. That was when the x was squared. When the y is squared, we're going to open left or right. And it matters which the p is positive or negative, tells you if you open right or left. Now, let's try moving this thing. They're actually not terrible to move because we do the same steps, we just have a different vertex. So first, let's find our p-value. Now remember, to find our p-value, we're going to take the number on the right-hand side and we're going to set equal to 4p. So I'm going to divide by 4. We're going to get p is 4, right? I'm then going to look at who's squared. X is squared, so that means this guy either is up or down. And since the P is positive, he will be pointing up. Let's now find the vertex. My vertex is the H and the K. It's opposite of what you're seeing, so it's -3, -4. Let's go ahead and graph that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is my vertex. Now let's follow our steps to find the focus. So I'm going to go 4 up to find the focus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is my focus. And I'm going to go backwards from the vertex to find the directrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's write those ordered pair and line equation. So the focus is at the dot. Ooh, that is -3, 0, it looks like. And the directrix is at the equation y equals -8. Notice it is up 4 from the vertex. That gives me the focus. And then down 4 gave me the directrix. Okay, same information. The focal width, remember, we're just going to steal this number. It's 16 left to right around the focus because it's the focal width. So that means I have to go 8 to the left and 8 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, just a tish bit off. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to connect my dots. There we go. My axis of symmetry. Where could I perfectly fold this dude? Well, I would perfectly fold it down the middle through the vertex, right? The equation of that, let me change back to my blue, is x equals, because it's going through the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, -3. My domain, forever to the left, forever to the right. But my range, it looks like we're starting at -4 and we're going forever up. Remember, the directrix does not count for the domain and the range. Let's try another one. Now, I'm noticing something quite strange about this problem. The squared guy never had a number beside it. So let's take care of that first. I'm going to multiply both sides by -28 because I'm going to divide by -1/28, which is the same as multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by -28. So I'm going to get y squared equals -28 x minus 1. Do not distribute. I saw it. I saw it. You want to distribute. Do not distribute. So now I have my 4p equals -28. I have that number right there. So my p is -7. And since it's a y squared, that means it's either left or right. And since the p is negative, that means we will be left. My vertex, now be very careful, the y is first. That means that's the second number in the ordered pair. So my x value is 1. My y value is 0 because there's nothing with it. So 1, 0 is where my vertex is. Put a big giant V by that. Let's follow our steps. I'm going to go left 7. Remember that negative only counted for that we're saying we're going left. So I'm going to go left 7 from my vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the focus right there. Let's go right 7 now to find the directrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's write that information down. The focus is at the dot. Ooh, what number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 6, 0. My directrix is cutting through the x-axis at 8. X equals 8. My focal width is 28. Remember, it's the number here. That is always your focal width. That means from arm to arm, I'm 28, which means 14 up and down. Yes, this is going to go off the graph, ladies and gents. We are going to be going right there and right there. Okay, now let's see how well Marsh can connect the dots. There's one dot connected. There we go. Almost missed that second dot. My axis of symmetry would be right down the middle at y equals 0. My domain, there is a problem on the domain. So we are going from negative infinity, because it's pointing to the left, right? And we stopped at positive 1, even though my graph is kind of like a little curvy. Kind of weird right there. My bad drawing. My range, I am going forever negative and forever positive. Let's talk writing. Here's the two things you need for a writing of a parabola. You need the vertex and you need the p-value. Now remember, your p-value is how far is the vertex to the focus, how far is the vertex to the directrix, okay? That is your p-value. Let's find the ordered pair for the vertex first of this graph. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 6, comma 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we also know that this is pointing down. So that means that the x guy is squared. Okay, I'm kind of writing out my template just like we used to with every other one. Plug in my vertex. So we got x plus 6, y minus 4. The p-value is how far my focus is from my vertex, which is a distance of 1. So my p is 1. But I can't just put 1 here, right? Because it's always 4 times my p-value. And since I'm pointing down, it also has to be a negative. So this would be 4, negative 4, because I got to multiply my p-value by 4 to get that number there. So that is the equation of that graph right over there. Let's try number 6. Again, we need the vertex, the p-value, and which way is it opening? Well, it is opening to the right, which tells me that it's going to be a y squared guy. So let's go ahead and write that business out here. So y something squared equals, leave some blank for that 4p, x. There we go. Let's find the vertex. That's this dot right here. They mark it in the graph. What meanies? Negative 1, positive 2 is that vertex. My p-value, remember that is vertex to focus or vertex to directrix. So that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, distance of 4 here. So my p-value is 4. Now I can now write all the information. Now, be very careful. This is not y plus 1. because the y value has to be with it. So it'd be y minus 2, x plus 1. I can't just put 4 here. I have to multiply by 4. So it's 16. It is opening to the right, so this should be a positive number. Always be careful of that. I always forget that negative. So that is the equation of that graph right there. Now what happens if we take away the graph? Oh, the humanity. Well, we could graph it, right? We could just do a little sketch. So I know 4, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, negative 2. That would mean it's going to do some of this, right? It's pointing down because the 4, negative 2 is the focus. The parabola almost has to be like hugging the focus, right? So here's what I've identified. I have the vertex. I do not have a p-value, and I do know that it's opening down based on my little sketch over here. So that means my x has to be first, followed by my y. My p-value is my vertex to my focus. So that is a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a distance of 5 right here. So my p-value is 5. So let's plug in. We know our vertex is x minus 4, y minus 3. I can't put 20 here, or I can't put 5 there, excuse me, because I need to multiply. Jumped ahead of myself. So that'd be a 20. And since it's pointing down, there does need to be a negative sitting in there. Not terrible. These are actually pretty easy. I like writing the equations of the parabolas because I think they're a little bit easier than the other conics. Now I've taken away the graph. Oh, the humanity. So let's try a little sketch. So negative 1, 7. 2, 7. It's going to the right, right? Remember that wipe off sheet, that graph wipe off, that would be very helpful if you need it. So this definitely opens to the right. I have the vertex, I need the p-value. So from negative 1, 7 to 2, 7, what is that distance? Well, 1, 2, 3, distance of 3 is what we're getting for that. And since it's opening to the right, that means the y is going to be squared. So I'm going to write that out. Let's write the vertex. Now be very careful. It's not y plus 1. The y value from that vertex ordered pair has to go in there. And then 3 times 4 is 12. It is opening to the right. Thus, that should be a positive number. That sketch really helps solve a lot. Let's try another one. So 2, negative 5. And then the directrix is x equals 3, which would be a line right there, right? Now, my parabola can't open that way because I can't go towards the directrix. I got to go way. So that means this guy is opening to the left. Okay. I need my p-value, but I don't have a vertex. But remember, the vertex to the directrix is the same value as the vertex to the focus. So that means my distance is 1. So let's write it out. It is opening to the left, which means y has to be squared. I will go y plus 5, x minus 2. Multiply my p-value by 4. I will get 4. And since it's opening to the left, it has to be a negative 4. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to try this problem first, and then I will go through the answer. But first, pause the video and try to complete this problem on your own. Make sure you paused. I'm going to wait and make sure you do. Hopefully you paused. Otherwise, that was a very awkward silence that you just waited through. So let's graph. Negative 9, 8. Y, oh, that's the F. That's the focus. Y equals negative 6. That would be like down here somewhere. Ooh, they stole the vertex from me. How mean. What meanie pantses. Well, here's something I know. I know that the vertex has to be in the middle of the focus and the directrix, right? I also know that the vertex has to be in line with the focus, which tells me that my vertex has to have an x value of -9. That is one thing I know. But I don't know the y value. I need to know what's in between 8 and -6, aka the midpoint, counting, however you need to get there. So 8 minus 6 divided by 2, just find the middle, would be 1. -9, 1 is where my vertex is. I also know that it's pointing up. And I can find the p-value now. The p-value is 7, because that's the vertex to the focus. So my equation, since it's opening up, would be x squared. So it'd be x plus 9, y minus 1. 4 times 7 is 28. So that is the equation of my parabola. Did you get it right? This one is the hardest kind of problem that they can throw at you because they stole that vertex. So you kind of almost have to reason through where could the vertex be to find that ordered pair. And that is the end of this video. And the final of the conic sections that we're going to investigate in this class. We're going to do a lot of practice with this translated form and knowing how to write them when you get back to me in class. Until then, I will see you later, Sabers.